What's up and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for those of you that always tune in. This channel is always there for anything financial, entrepreneurial in nature, or business-like in nature, or educative in nature, and entertaining as well. Anyways, it's JVceo. If you're tuning in for the first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to have a fire session on improving your credit, getting above 900. Believe it or not, the amount of people in the UK that have under 900 as credit scores is huge and it's embarrassing. So I'm here to fix that. So let's get straight into it. Generally speaking, people have poor credit due to two reasons, which is, a lack of planning and, an absence of knowledge. And I'm not going to fix it all in this video, but I'll endeavor to fix a lot. So one of the main things, or one of the first things you should endeavor, is to make sure that you're on the electoral roll. After the electoral roll, you then have to think about things like, let's say, your credit card, making sure that you maintain at the very least 70-30 balance in your credit card. What do I mean by that? If you have a credit card with £1,000 limit, make sure that you're not spending more than £300 on it. And even when you do, make sure you always pay it back in full before the actual due date. I'm going to break that down even further, and I'll explain to you two other things that most people are not aware of. When it comes to credit cards, there are two other areas, which is your due date and your statement date. Sometimes people will pay off their due date and then max it out before their statement date. Whatever balance is shown in your credit card around your due date is what gets uploaded to Experian and Equifax and so on and so forth. So the best thing to do is when you pay off your card before your due date, in time for your due date, just try and refrain from any heavy purchases until after your statement date. So that way, the statement date has the lowest figure, which is then uploaded to the credit bureaus. So that's number two. Number 3 and 4 would sort of merge into one, that being, if you're already in a position where you have a lot of debt, you don't really have, the best way of paying it off, but you work, you have some savings, but it's too much. You have your credit card debt, you have this debt, you have that debt. The best thing for you to do is, sort of look at a consolidation loan. That would probably help you. You consolidate everything into one, and then you're making one payment a month, because that would help you in terms of organization as well. And also try and consider, if you, let's say you already use credit cards, try and look at balance transfer credit cards. Those are ways that, they're ways you can use that to legally manipulate your credit file and your credit profile. The next one, a lot of people are culprits. You have to avoid all these payday loans, these pawn brokers, these store cards, all these things. It's just unnecessary searches on your file, but also it signifies that you're credit dependent, and it's very bad debt. Think about it. It doesn't even look good. You're getting a payday loan with exorbitant sort of fees, you're paying 17% APRs and so on and so forth. So I would just generally avoid them. And also, when you start to get payday loan sort of files on your credit, future lenders wouldn't like to deal with you because it shows that you're very credit dependent and you're not really trustworthy. So they kind of stay far away from you, if that makes any sense. Best example I can give you is, imagine you're applying for an IT job, but on there, it shows that your previous job was like McDonald's. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but I'm trying to make a point. They're thinking, what, IT, 100K a year job, and you're telling me that your previous job was McDonald's. No matter the, academic experience you have, they may not consider you because they look down on you. It's the same thing when it comes to payday loans. So just try and avoid them, generally speaking. Moving on from that, you want to do things like close your dormant accounts. pointless. If you have dormant accounts, it's also an avenue for someone to defraud you. And then you want to build up your credit age and you want to build up the number of your settled accounts. I'm not going to go into too much details in this, but do some Google searching and that will help you as well. I'm going to put you guys in the right direction. And obviously, if you want me to go into more details, feel free to sort of leave a comment in the comment section, get in touch, email, contact the JVceo, and I'm more than happy to sort of take that further. And don't forget, I have the credit masterclass as well, so you can always sort of jump on with that as well. But yeah, so we'll continue on this path, and by the end of this video, you should have all the tools to fix your credit. It then becomes a question of whether you want to fix your credit. So there's a couple of little things, but they're very important. One of them being never withdraw from your credit card under no circumstance, except you've been given the avenue by your credit card company, and even then I would still avoid it. Just never withdraw from your credit cards. It's the worst thing that you can do, and it shows that you're overly dependent on it. It shows that you have no money of yours, because what happened to your debit card? Why are you withdrawing from your credit card, if that makes any sense? So just generally avoid that like a plague. And also, if you have too many credit accounts, try and start closing a few, because too many credit accounts just again seems as though you're dependent on credit. Everything is good in moderations, essentially speaking. So try and start closing down your credit accounts. Then, for example, going back to credit, if you have a credit card with a very small limit on it, at all costs, try and get this increased. If you can't get it increased, use the services of a virtual credit card. They will temporarily show a higher limit on your credit file or your credit profile. And then as time goes on, that would help you build the ability to then actually return to a traditional credit card with a much higher limit. But at all costs, try and get a credit card with a higher limit for a number of reasons. One, it helps with your utilization, because let's say now, if you have a credit card of £1,000, once you use £300, you've already used 30% of it. But if you have a credit card of £10,000, even after using £1,000, you've only used 10% of it. So it gives you a bit more room to sort of play around. And also it's a trust builder. So when other lenders are looking at you and they're seeing that other lenders have given you, a credit card with £20,000 on it, £30,000 on it, they automatically just assume you're responsible, and they'll give you whatever credit it is that you want from them. So that's another trick that a lot of people do not know. Finally, I would say limit the amount of searches on your credit file, that being hard searches. So limit the amount of time you're always applying for credit, because once again, that would put your score down for about a 6-month period, and then it will obviously start to recover. But once you start to do a lot of hard searches on your file, it feels like you're always hunting for credit. And when it comes to credit, you want to be given credit, not hunt for it, if that makes any sense. So I hope, this goes on to help a lot of you guys improve your credit, especially as we're now in the new year, it's 2023. However many months is left of the year, you can do it. Just have to have the guidance and the finesse to actually know what you're looking for. And here it is. I hope this video helps you guys. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.